Hi everybody, it's Jamie. Today I'm going to be talking with you guys about a new treatment that I'm going to be trying for my MS. But first I'm going to apologise. I'm really sorry that my videos have taken a back seat lately. I have just been so busy, mostly good stuff's happening, but I've also been really poorly, and when I have been able to vlog and stuff, I haven't really had much to talk about, so I'm really sorry about that. But I was going to be doing a injection video for my Copaxone, but I never did it, and now I feel really bad because I'm not on Copaxone anymore, which I will come back to later. So my new treatment that I'm going to be going for is Tysabri or Tysabri, depending on where you're from. And the story of me changing my treatment, it started about 3 weeks ago. I went and saw my drug consultant neurologist in Southampton, and it was supposed to be a normal 6-monthly checkup. Basically she's the person that gives the go-ahead for your drugs and who you go to and liaise with about, you know, the disease modifying drugs. And I thought she was just gonna say, you know, okay, great, tick the box, carry on with the Copaxone, see you in 6 months. But yeah, she didn't. She sat me down and she explained to me that whilst my Copaxone was working to a certain extent, I was still relapsing, and what was happening was my Copaxone was lessening the severity of my relapses, like making them not as bad as before. You know, I wasn't needing steroids so much as before I was on Copaxone, but I was still relapsing like clockwork over and over, and as she said, that's what's causing the damage, the fact that I'm still relapsing in the first place. So she told me about a treatment called Tysabri or Tysabri and that she really wants me to consider it because she thinks that I'm an ideal person to try it, and not everyone gets offered Tysabri. You have to meet very certain criteria for it, and I feel very lucky and privileged that I was offered it. It's almost like Christmas. But yeah, she explained to me what it was and the administration of it. It's a monthly infusion that I have to go over Southampton for, just once a month, no other injections, and just an IV for an hour, and then they check you for a couple of hours in the hospital. You've got to stay there just to check that you haven't got any, you're not having any reactions or stuff like that, and then they let you go, and that's it until the next month. And she gave me examples of her patients that she has personally, you know, got on under her wing. She was telling me about a girl who, my age, was also diagnosed the same time as me last year, which I can't believe it was a year ago now. I was in hospital for a month, and it was a year ago yesterday they finally told me that it is definitely MS, because it was always a maybe, probably, yeah, definitely. While I was having all these millions of tests for everything else, as you can imagine, and then my spinal fluid abnormality showed up, and it was the 5th of November they said, yeah, it's definite MS. But anyway, she was also relapsing over and over, just the same as I was, and she ended up in a wheelchair by Christmas. And as a side note, she was absolutely amazed that I wasn't in a wheelchair. The fact that I was walking unaided that day, I wasn't using my crutch or anything like that. And at the moment it's 50-50 when I have to use my crutch, and I really should use it more than I do, but you get fed up. Sometimes you just want to pretend you're normal for a little bit, unless I really struggle to walk or really too painful, then I'll use it. But yeah, she explained to me that this girl who was in a wheelchair by Christmas, she started Tysabri in April this year, and now not only is she out of a wheelchair, but she is completely symptom free. So I was like, okay, that sounds exciting. And another one was a guy who was told that he was progressive MS, but she didn't think that it was progressive, and she stuck him on Tysabri anyway to see what would happen. And he has just completed a trek in the Himalayas or somewhere like that. It's something mountainy. All I heard was trek, and I was like, okay, can you sign me up now, please? So yeah, she's telling me all these wonderful, wonderful benefits and the possible effects that it could have on me and the life that it could give me back. I mean, I know that I am never going to be the person that I was before, but this is the best chance that I'm going to get of getting a step back to that. I can't say closer because I'm going back to what I was. So yeah, and then she told me about the serious side of the treatment, which was the fact that you have a risk of developing something called PML, which is a fatal brain infection. So yeah, your chances of getting it are about 1 in 1,000 while you're on Tysabri. Although if you test positive for something called the JC virus in your blood, which a lot of people have anyway, it just lies dormant, a bit like MRSA. It has to have something else to trigger it and manifest itself. But if you test positive for the JC virus, then your risk goes up to 1 in 100. But I have decided, I mean, it took the boat journey, but she wasn't pushy at all, but she was urging me to strongly consider it, and she was really, really excited for me to try it. And it took maybe the boat journey back, and by that time I had decided I'm gonna go for it. And I've given it a lot of thought as to what I'm going to do if I am JC positive, and I've decided that I'm still going to go for it, because there's so many risks that we take every day, and for something that could give me my life back, I think anything, you know, I'll try anything. And there are people that take Tysabri and they're JC positive, and they do amazingly. Still, all it requires is just a little bit of extra monitoring and more tests, you know, things like that, and just to be very careful. I'm not going to be on it for over 5 years anyway. Going to be on it between 2 and 5, and yeah, it's scary, but I mean, life-saving treatment sounds really, really dramatic, but when you consider the fact that considering that I have had all these relapses, I am doing very well, and I am very, very, very lucky. And unfortunately, whilst I'm very, very lucky that I'm not in a wheelchair yet, I'm still not going to get better. And every time you relapse, it causes permanent damage, and you never recover fully. And my nurse is always telling me, because I get really upset quite a lot. You know, it's not necessarily that I can't do the things that I used to do. You know, like running everywhere and stuff like that, but the fact that I can't really do any exercise or anything at all now, and it really upsets me, because I get so tired as soon as I get better. I relapse again, and I don't know, every time I relapse, I don't know if this is going to be the one that puts me in a wheelchair. So I need to stop this from happening with everything that I've got. And my nurse, she tells me that all the time, and she reminds me that it takes the body 6 months to get over a single relapse, and you never recover fully each time. And I've relapsed over and over, so I have got years and years and years of recovery until I'm at some sort of stable state ahead of me. And I need to do everything that I can to try and make that happen for a quality of life that I desperately want, but more importantly that I need, because, you know, my son needs me to be better. He doesn't need me to get worse. But I want to, you know, I need to do it for myself as well, because having MS, I'd be lying if I said that it hadn't taken things from me, things that had made me me, that I can't do anymore. But I still am me at the end of the day, and I need to save whatever I've got left. So I told myself this time last year that I am gonna fight this with absolutely everything that I have. And I didn't, no one knew that I was going to relapse this much and be this poorly and yet somehow still be going, but I still stand by what I said. I'm still going to do it, and I'm really sorry that I'm getting really emotional, but it's a really emotional thing. And I have got such a fantastic support that means more to me than they'll ever know, and I have friends and people that I've never even met, like on Twitter and on YouTube and Facebook, that it doesn't matter that they're over the other side of the world, it's the fact that they've been through the same thing that you have, and it's comforting, and they'll message you and, you know, to say just keep going. So they're the people that know that know about it. They've experienced it, they know what's going on, whereas the people here don't really know the full ins and outs, and I don't think I'd ever want them to, because I don't like being worried about. But honestly, I have such great support. I think that I can do anything. So whilst I've still got this little bit of fight in me, I'm gonna do all I can. So yeah, my blood's all been taken to see if I'm positive or negative for the virus, and I'm waiting for the results of that to come back, and then it's just sorting out my first infusion date. So hopefully I'm determined to start all this by Christmas, which isn't long away, but hopefully it'll be all started by Christmas. And yeah, if anyone else is on Tysabri or Tysabri, whatever you want to call it, and they want to get in touch, please do, because I really want to hear your experiences, or anyone at all with MS or anything else, just get in touch. Or if you know anyone who's JC positive and still taking Tysabri, because there are people that are still getting fantastic results with it. So yeah, everyone get in touch, and I will be back soon to talk a bit more when I'm a bit less emotional. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.